Welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. Happy to talk a little Tennessee basketball. The Vols get their season started on Tuesday night at Xavier, and joining us, former Volunteer Isaiah Victor. Isaiah, former leading scorer in the D-League. You played, I think you played everywhere but Antarctica in terms of your pro career. Thanks for being back with us.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I asked you this week to let me know three things that you're concerned with, three things you want to see out of this year's team. You want to see some development. I want to step through those one at a time here. And the first one that you tossed out was team chemistry, strong team chemistry.
It's very important, and these are all basic things, just looking at the beginning of the season, we had to start playing. Chemistry is very important. It's built not only on the court, but outside of the court. Do you actually like each other as people? Because you got to have each other backs at the end of the day, so I think that's very important.
They got a lot of new people this year on that roster, a lot of new guys coming in there. You've got Jerron Maimon back. Any concern there about bringing so many new keys? Even Antonio Barton, he's a veteran, but he's a veteran for Memphis, not a veteran for Tennessee. The fact that you've got so much turnover there, is that a concern for your chemistry, or do you think it'll be all right?
It's always a concern, but it's always going to happen. You got players coming in and going out all the time, but the name of the game is how you get the team to gel. So that's why our chemistry is so important.
All right, next one we got up here is veteran leadership, and you lost some of that last year when Maimon was hurt all year. You might have had it in the weight room, you might have had him on the bench, but it's different when you have him out there on the floor. Veteran leadership with this year's team.
Very important again, and I expect Maimon to be one of the guys to step up along with McCray. They've been there, they've seen a lot, they know a lot, they have that voice, and especially Maimon when he's behind the defense or on the offense, he can tell people a lot, and that's part of the leadership process. How
much growth do you expect to see out of Jarnell Stokes? His first year he came out and had that great game against Kentucky, and then he started playing a little bit like a freshman. Last year, I think a lot of people expected him to take a big step forward. Without Maimon, it didn't happen. Your thoughts on Stokes, and will he develop into this kind of a leadership role, do you think? See that type of player?
I think he'll be fine. It'd be great if he could be a leader. I don't think they actually need him to do that this year. They needed him a lot more last year with the absence of Maimon. So this year, hopefully, he'll be able to come along, maybe fly under the radar a little bit, and not draw the double teams that he was drawing, and then he'll be able to excel.
All right, got one more here that you mentioned, and this one we won't know for a while. Mental toughness on the road. They lacked it last year in a lot of occasions. Your thoughts on Tennessee this year on the road?
I think they'll do well. Like I said, they got all the ammunition we need now. It's just a matter of them gelling. The veterans, are they going to be on the road telling the younger guys what to expect and what to look for? I think they'll be fine, man, but it's going to take a lot. It's not easy. Not everybody travels well, meaning not everybody plays well on the road, even though the baskets are the same size, the court's the same length. But at the end of the day,
need to measure the rim for them?
Yeah, it feels a lot smaller on some of those road games, but it's actually not.
Let me ask you this one. You talk about road games. Tennessee goes to Kentucky. Kentucky doesn't return to Tennessee. This is the first time since the 50s that the SEC schedule has not given Tennessee, Kentucky 2 games. You look at the Vol schedule. In terms of, there are basically 5 good teams in the SEC. You get them all. I mean, the rotation for Tennessee is bad in terms of who they get twice, and who they get on the road. You're an ex-player, and I know what your answer is going to be, but does the schedule concern you? A lot of people think this is well, it is. It's a make-or-break kind of a year. I mean, a lot of people are putting pressure on Cuonzo Martin right now. He wound up with a really tough schedule. Does that worry you?
It doesn't worry me. It's just an opportunity to show that they're a great team. I mean, if they go on the road and beat those 5 teams, they're awesome. They win 2 out of 3. 2 or 3 out of the 5. They look a lot better, and it's a way to build their RPI rating at the end of the day if they're successful.
It's going to be key. Last year you saw how much that RPI rating hurt them when it came tournament time. Isaiah Victor, thank you very much. You're up in Kentucky now, but you're going to be joining us here on the show every few weeks or so. I appreciate you doing that, and best of luck. We got to get you back down to Knoxville.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to come back.
Car dealers, give him a call. He can sell them. All right. Isaiah, thanks, buddy. We'll talk basketball throughout the season. Next week, we'll bring in a new basketball analyst on the show, introduce him to you as we also talk football next week. But in the next segment, we are going to be doing the lightning round. Come on back. Good stuff.